All right, and we are live. Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Happy Friday.
Nice. In sync, dude. Look at that. How's the day? Not bad? Not bad?
Not particularly.
Standard shit. Actually, most of my coworkers had the day off today because it's Abe Lincoln's birthday.
No way.
And he's a real big deal down there in Springfield, so...
Damn.
I didn't really have to do much of anything today.
That's an old holiday, though. Why don't they get with the program?
Dude, you have no idea, man. Have you been to Springfield?
I mean,
Springfield's
8th grade on a field trip.
Abe Lincoln is a legit, fucking icon down there, man. They got, restaurants named after him and, all this shit.
I've seen our license plates.
Dude, you can go to his house, dude. You can take a shit in his little bowl up there. No, you ever been to his house?
I think...
Actually, I did. I do remember doing
Didn't
that.
we go there in middle school or some shit?
I did. I remember distinctly being whoa, Abe Lincoln touched this handrail, going up down the stairs. I was like,
start licking it?
Oh, yeah.
But that's not where he was born, right?
No, I think he just lived there.
He just lived there.
Yeah.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I keep getting suggestions to watch that Abe Lincoln, Vampire Slayer, movie.
Based off a true story?
Based on history, dude. Come on, guys. Yeah, no. But, dude, were you watching that Tragedy of Macbeth movie with us?
Yeah.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of it?
I really liked it.
You liked it?
I mean, it's been a hot minute since I read, Shakespeare or any, old English stuff, so it took, a minute to be oh, yeah, adjust a little bit, but as far as how it was done, it was really good.
Yeah, I might give it a rewatch, dude. I think I was, kind of nodding in and out of sleep,
I think you were,
honest.
too.
Yeah. You're watching me, dude?
I saw you sleeping over there.
Yeah, dude, sometimes at the end of the night, dude. I, try everything to avoid, sitting on the couch watching a movie, dude, because I'll, pass out. Like an old person, man.
You were gone.
Yeah, but it was intriguing, dude, for the times I was awake for. But, no, like I was saying before, dude, I think A24 has some really good ones, and I don't know if that was the best one, but I actually like the... I like when people try new stuff, right? Kind of like the Weeknd's album, too,
Yeah.
Concept.
They branch out. Actually, they got nominated for some Oscars for it. I don't know if Denzel deserves Best Actor, but the fact that A24 shit is getting nominated, that was cool. So
it's cool, yeah.
I feel like I was telling him upstairs, I think he did a good job, but it still seemed like he was a burned out detective, reading Macbeth. It was just I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No,
yeah.
I 100% resonate with that, dude. That is a spot on.
It just didn't seem like that was the best choice for that role, but that's also why I think they picked him.
Yeah,
because it's they thought it would be
unconventional.
really unconventional, which it was, and I liked it, but I'm just kind of wondering if they picked somebody else for that, if it would have been better.
Yeah, like who, dude?
I don't know, man.
Danny DeVito.
Danny
DeVito.
I would pay a full movie ticket price to see Danny DeVito as Macbeth.
Wouldn't even look for a discount?
No.
Dude, yeah.
My man.
Stone cold. No cracking up.
Yeah, dude. I was was I telling you guys I was watching that Ricky Gervais show, dude, on Netflix. It's called I think it's Afterlife or something like that.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I've heard good stuff about it. I mean, I like his other shows he's done.
Dude, I think sometimes or most of the time I think British humor is kind of quirky and a little corny,
Yeah.
Same. But Ricky Gervais is funny, I think, dude. He's got some interesting like American humor,
Mm-hmm.
which is funnier in a British accent, I think.
It is. I think his thing is he gets on his high horse a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think with TV, not his shows and stuff. So I think whenever he does stand up and other things, he kind of gets on a soapbox, I feel like. But no, his shows are really good. There's cause you said you were watching Afterlife, or you've seen Afterlife?
I'm a couple episodes away from finishing the first season of it.
I got you. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I'd recommend. He had another show called Derek. I don't know if you're talking about it. So
where he plays
Derek. He plays this mentally handicapped dude that works in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty much all the same cast and people that were involved in it at this Afterlife show. He obviously likes working with them, and they put out good stuff. So this was the one they did before. That's from 2015 or something like that.
Oh, I got it.
But there's 3 seasons, and it's really good. It's that same type of humor. But Ricky Gervais plays a mentally handicapped man stone face that's great. Like,
damn, I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those feel good, type of shows,
but it's like legit funny though. That's
It's
what I
funny,
mean. It's
too.
legit funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, dude. When I saw the trailer for Afterlife, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, this shit could be funny because like he's got some like kind of offensive jokes in there. And it's like right up my alley of shit to do. But yeah, dude, I'll have to check that one out afterwards. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a network show?
I mean, maybe like in England or some shit like that.
Oh,
but-
okay. So,
Yeah. But otherwise, y'all want to dive in?
I thought we were diving in, dog.
Yeah.
I've been swimming.
Well, what have we been doing this whole time?
I've been swimming.
So I know you haven't read the book, but House of Leaves.
I'm gonna pretend I did.
Yeah, and me too. What were your early thoughts on the book? Nothing. You don't have to do anything like super concrete, man.
Like when I finished it?
Yeah.
It took me forever to read it, for starters. I mean, I don't know if that's what you experienced.
Well, it was like what, 500-600 pages, maybe.
Yeah, but just the whole thing with like the footnotes.
Yeah.
It was like some of them you have to read and some of them you don't. Like some of them are literally just like, here's 150 like French sounding names, and you're just like, okay, why is this even here?
Like here's a bunch of like random like cities. Like, pages.
Yeah, or there's that one where that's like it goes over like all the different kinds of like architecture in like a house.
In the house, yeah.
Yeah.
So before we get any deeper into this, I guess we should just like level set with what happens. So like at a high level, so there's like three main people to know in this book, right? So there is like this guy named Edward Zampano, and he is like a dead author in the book, like not a real guy. And then there is Johnny Truant. Okay, so Johnny Truant is this like young guy, like kind of like a rough around the edges dude, and he happens upon Zampano's apartment, right? He goes in there and he sees a bunch of like scribbles on papers, and like the apartment's like in shambles, and there's just like scribbles on all types of shit, And so he starts like kind of getting in there and like trying to put together this story. And then the story is about a guy named Navinson, who's like a director. He's like a movie director,
Sure.
Right? Did I capture that accurately?
That's a pretty good summation of it, yeah.
I guess that's kind of interesting then. So there's like 3 levels to the book because there's multiple layers to the story. Then I guess, is that right?
Yep. So then there's like so aside from like the abstractness of the book that's hard to describe, there's 2 like different fonts it's like written in, right? So like in like when it's Times New Roman, it's the Navinson record. That's the story of Navinson, right?
Sure.
And the Navinson record is a story or a movie that is talked about in this book, but not a real movie. They comment on how they've tried to find it, but in like this fictional world, it's won like awards and things like that, but none of that is real. Mm-hmm. So no, like so then the other font is like more like Common Sans-y, I guess. I don't know exactly. It's a different font, right?
Wingdings.
It's all fucking triangles and trapezoids.
The Dakota ring.
Right? But that font is Johnny Truant's story, but also kind of his commentary on Zampano and what he's finding. Right?
Okay.
So there's 2 stories going on at once, and they're both like kind of related, but not really, So that's another like mind fuck throughout the whole thing. So like, what did you think about that like dichotomy between the 2 stories, or did you find any hardcore relations right away?
I wouldn't say I necessarily found like any hardcore relations. I kind of more so is like treated them as individual stories.
Yeah.
I thought that was just the easiest way to like go about it, because I mean, Johnny Truant like did kind of like finding the papers like in Zampano's apartment was kind of like a catalyst for his like character development.
Yeah.
And then I felt like the Navidson record was just kind of its own story. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah. So I didn't. So like high level themes were interesting. So for context, like Truant is like a dude who is like he has like a very melancholic life, you know. It's like very up and down. He can't like he can't settle, you know.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, like that's what Navidson is too. Like he's a guy who like can't settle. Like he like in the book, it's like he's gone for weeks on end, you know, like doing like whatever he's doing, and he leaves the kids at home with the family for a long time, and you know, he comes home only for a little bit. Sometimes he'd be gone for months. So I think like in that way, like they're similar, but the way they manifest, you know, that like anxiety and that restlessness is a lot different.
That's
that
true. Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
And like, so like painting the picture of this guy Truant, right? Like like I said, he's like getting into fights. He like works at a tattoo parlor. You know what I mean? He's like a very very rough around the edges type of guy, and he always like talks about his sleep issues. And he like can't sleep, and he always talks about this monster that I think's gonna come get him. He's like, the monster's hungry, it's like coming for me, and like he doesn't eat ever, you know. So he lives this really bad life. So like, what are thoughts on like what those types of things does to a person, like sleep deprivation, and then like hunger?
Yeah, well, yeah, like diet too, just like getting nutrients and stuff. So, and then if there's underlying other mental or you know, genetic issues too, I'm sure, you know, it's only going to be made even stronger by the fact that you're not eating, getting enough fuel, or sleeping.
Yeah. I think in general, like I'm like a different person when I'm not sleeping well, you know. Like it's, you live like this you like live like an in-between life, right, where you're not quite like asleep, but you're not quite like fully engaged, you know. And that's like I don't feel like that's like a really bad way to be. And it sets this dude up really well to be like a shitty guy, you know?
That's, now that you mention it, I think that's kind of one thing that Johnny Truant and Davidson have in common, where it's like they're both on like a descent into madness and like self-destruction pretty much. So like with Johnny Truant, it's like the choices he makes, like the drugs he does, the girls he sleeps with, and it's just like his life is pretty much just spiraling out of control. And Davidson's obsession is like discovering his house. So that's the whole thing. Like Will Davidson, the Davidson Record is a documentary about him. His family buys this house, and slowly over time it becomes bigger on the inside without getting bigger on the outside. So it looks normal on the outside. Okay. And like you'll open like a door or something, and the hallway will be like 300 yards long or some shit.
Yeah. So basically so what happens is, for some odd reason, they find like a blueprint of the house, right? And Navidson goes on this like crazy tangent to try to like, you know, measure everything in the house, you know? So he finds this closet, and there's like pretty much like an inch that's unaccounted for in the blueprint. Yeah. And he like cannot like get over that fact, you know? And then so he goes into that closet, and every time he goes in there, it's expanded, and it's like turns into like a hallway, right? And he slowly starts to explore it. Like he'll go like a little bit in, and then he'll go like a little bit farther in, but he'll like make sure he can always get back, you know? But every time he seems to go in, there seems to be more of it. So it's like this labyrinth that like, you know, like
interesting
fucks him up, you know? And I still try to figure out what that whole thing symbolizes, you know what I mean? That labyrinth. Maybe it's that like never ending, like, you know,
yeah, like becoming obsessed with something and like never being satisfied. It's like you're always reaching further and further for what you think is going to give you satisfaction, but you never can get it, I guess.
Yeah. And you know, one other character that I think like is really like pivotal is his wife. He has his wife named Karen, and she's like this lady who she has like claustrophobia and like agoraphobia, you know what I mean? And so she doesn't like being in crowds, she doesn't like being around people, and she's also very, very like confined, you know, she hates confined spaces, right? So she gets like, and she also, the book says with like increased intimacy, she gets more like distant, if that makes sense. So like that's like early onsets of them having some issues in their marriage, right? And so a question that comes out of that is, so this guy is already like a dude who is like can't settle and needs to explore, right? And then he has 2 kids, and then he has a wife that's like very, very much like, you know, has these like very like huge baggage like items, you know what I mean, into this relationship. And like, I just wonder like what that undertone does to somebody, you know what I mean? It's like if you can't solve like an issue for your loved one, you know, and it becomes like something chronic, I feel like it's just it made such a bad divide in their marriage, you know. But I don't know if there was a question that comes out of that, but like did you pick up on that? And then also let's just like explore that thought, you know. I'd be happy to dive into that a little bit more.
Sure.
Yeah.
So just thoughts on like what
do you think of Karen, like as a character?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head with her, but I think she had like a need to be loved, which is why she would get super mad like when Davidson like wasn't home or when he was like exploring the inside of the house or whatever. She was always like super worried, just like waiting for him to come back. And then that actually led to their demise because she told him like, I don't want you going in there anymore, and he couldn't stop because he has to find out what's in there. It's his obsession.
Exactly. You know, that's a really good elaboration. And like, I don't know, what do you think about that, man?
I don't know. I honestly, just getting like summations. I'm making some connections on. I'm curious if there was a borders versus no borders thing going on. And so what I mean with that is she has very specific borders. Like, I don't like to be in like too small of spaces, and I don't like to be in like too big of space, like with too many people. I don't know. There's this little middle, not middle, it's pretty big, but this middle area she floats in. And then you got the other guy who he's kind of almost obsessed with pushing borders or finding borders. I don't know. That's what I take from kind of this descent into whatever. Like,
really
I don't think it's so. I don't think it was. It doesn't sound like, anyways. It was like some sort of anger thing. I think it was just like he just needed to find a border. Like it just needed to add up to him. Things just need to add up to him. Like the blueprint. I just need to see the wall. I know the end. You know, not knowing is. A border, you know, he was trying to find it.
No, 100% agree. That's a really good analysis because, like you said, they're polar opposites in terms of like their opportunities and their personalities, right? Like you said, like she has a box that she's trying to break open, and he has like he doesn't have any like border at all.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. And he needs to find some kind of like way to settle, which is really interesting. And I think too, like a lot about I don't know, like even like relationships I've been in before, where it's like, you know, like we all have some kind of like, you know, like personality thing we're trying to get over and like, you know, control. And like, you know, historically those types of things where it's like, you know, sometimes like one party is like a little bit more like they need more interaction and another party needs less interaction, you know. That divide, I feel like it could be easily resolved like nowadays, like, you know, like with some communication. But it's like back in the day, you never know how to communicate, right?
Yeah. Well, so communication's obviously a key part of it, but then the other thing is what just drives them as people too. You know, I'd say that's like a bigger layer under that. So you can communicate as good as you want, but if at the end of the day she has these borders she has to be within, and he's exploring whatever his border may be, or that doing that is driving him to craziness, you know, you can't really communicate your way out of that either.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting too. Is like, you know, like I was saying, everyone has like that baggage too, you know, like that they come with, and then like once you get down like to it, is it like, you know, what if it's something that you can't like break through, you know, and that becomes like a systemic thing.
Yeah, everyone's got baggage, and sometimes being in a relationship is like empathizing with somebody else's like demons, you know, like sometimes you got to be the same type of fucked up for it to work.
Totally. 100%. Yeah, it's like it's interesting, like when you get down to that level, it's like, you know, everyone has like a different really like a view of what a good relationship is, right? Like like for me, if it's like, you know, I say I always want to be best friends with the person like I'm with, you know what I mean, like but that doesn't have to be the case, right? You don't, like, you know, there's other people that might have like their relationship in a box, you know what I mean, and that's like where they keep it, and then they go do other shit, and like, you know what I'm saying, like,
yeah,
I you know, when I read and I like read shit like this, and it you know, because it's such a vivid novel, right, so it makes you feel like you're kind of in their relationship, and when I read novels like that, I'm like, dude, you know, everyone's got some fucking shit going on, man.
Yeah.
There's like really no right way to do anything.
No.
But no, so like yeah, mad tangent over there, right? But so what aside from like, you know, the really vivid imagery that comes out of Johnny Truant's story, right? What color do you think, and I know you haven't read it, but what color do you
Red.
think you haven't read it? What did I say?
You said what color?
You didn't even finish.
It's red though.
Damn. I thought, you know, sometimes
Just being an asshole.
fucking A. But what color besides red do you think Johnny Truant adds to the story? Or
What color?
like not like an actual really
Yeah,
big
no.
color,
I
but-
just think I think he adds just like chaos, pretty much, because there's just so many like ridiculous experiences that he had throughout his life that are kind of like recounted through the book. Like that whole thing with him on like that oil rig or something, like a ship.
Yeah.
In like the middle of the ocean, and like everyone's like kicking each other's ass in like a fucking like Fight Club type thing, and
Dude, I totally forgot about that part.
yeah,
too.
he just has so many stories, and then he's always going to like strip clubs with his friends and like hooking up with like he's in love with that stripper like Thumper or whatever
yeah,
her name
yeah.
was.
Well, he called her that because he saw like she had a tattoo
Yeah.
of like a rabbit. And he's like
Yeah.
right when I saw it, I knew I was gonna call her Thumper.
And then what else? There was that thing with that chick that like killed. There was that dog.
Yeah,
that was fucking hard to read, man. And then just the whole thing with his mom too, like at the end.
So like, dude, the more you get into this story, and that's why I always try to figure out why, like, you know, the actual author of this book, like, added in this character, right? So like, you know, at the end of the story, you start getting more color on Johnny Truant, and it's like his mom, like, writing him letters from an asylum. And she's up, and it's like some real like Shutter Island type shit, you know. She's saying like, you know, I think this new medical director is like reading my mail, and why haven't you like written me, you know? And then like he like she writes like, you know, she's like, when you visited me you were so like distant, you know. And then like she's like, you haven't visited me for a year now, you know. So and then she has all these things, and it makes you think she's crazy, you know.
Sure.
She's like pretty much saying that like, hey, you know, I'll be out of here any minute, any day now, and I can't wait to be with you. And it's like, you know, it sounds normal, but she's writing it from like an asylum. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to see like her letters start getting like more paranoid and like more disheveled, and her handwriting is getting like worse and worse.
Yeah.
And it's just like another like pretty much descent into madness. Like you're literally like watching this lady's life like unravel through letters she's writing to her son, man. It's really fucked up.
Yeah. So, and then you find out in the story, or through the letters, that like, his mom tried to kill him when he was a kid, and she's like apologizing for that, you know. And what do you call? I just don't have even I can't even fathom a thought as to like he seemed to have been like still taking care of her, right? But like, how would you go to react to a mom who was like crazy and you knew like had tried to kill you when you were a kid, but still like try to maintain a relationship? Like, what does that look like?
I couldn't even imagine trying to navigate a relationship like that.
Yeah. So like, you know, obviously like, you know, we grew up and, you know, our parents like definitely they made some mistakes, but like, you know, we can respect them for it, and we can get over those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, imagine having something that like you couldn't get over.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know about
some
all that.
some people have that type of shit going on. And that'd be a difficult way to go through life with just like a giant divide in your family like that, you know?
Yeah. Like, so like I know somebody whose dad like pretty much like kind of dipped out when they were young, you know, when they're really young. But when they got older, they kind of like started to like, you know, like chat again, you know?
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
I try to catch up with that person like often, you know, and I just can't really understand why, you know, like why they're going back, and like I'd be kind of pissed off, you know, like I don't know. Would you?
I don't know. That's a tough situation to put myself in, you know, without being in it.
I'm just trying to. You know,
I think. I think as you become an adult yourself, so like later on in life,
yeah,
I think you start to understand some perspectives that you couldn't as a kid.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm not trying to justify it for any beat fucking dad that just runs out or whatever, but you know, I'm being open to that perspective and seeing what happened and seeing if there can be a relationship there. You know, I think that's just the general sense of growth.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it nurturing into something and actually, you know, getting back in each other's lives, that kind of the whole thing. I mean, I think that would obviously require a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a flip of a switch type of a thing.
I think it would also depend on like, at what age did the dad have the kid and then leave?
Yeah.
Because I think some people have children way, way too soon.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a kid when you're like...
Oh, shit. All right. We're back.
Anyway, so yeah. I think a major factor in that would be how young, like, the hypothetical dad was in that scenario. Because when you have kids at, like, 19 or 20... I think that you're almost not old enough to understand, like, the responsibility. Like, you don't understand enough about life to, like, know what you're getting into when you have a child, man. Because it's just, like, when you're in your mid-20s and you're, like, experiencing, like, what it means to have, like, a full-time job and, like, all these responsibilities for the first time, like, I don't think you can understand, like, the amount of responsibility and like selflessness and dedication it takes to have a child when you're that young. So I can understand like a 19-year-old kid just being like, I cannot handle this, like all this shit, like at the same time, like what I want to do for a living, like I don't know, man. I think that the earlier on you have a kid, the more understandable it is for that to happen almost. And if like you can understand that later on in life, just be like, my dad was fucking a teenager when he had me, like, you know, I mean, that might sound kind of shitty to say, but people make mistakes, dude, and like people become unhappy for various reasons, and sometimes you just can't handle it. It's just like, this situation is not healthy for me. It just sucks that that thing might be having a child, and like some people just can't handle that.
I think another thing that happens probably more often than it's talked about is fathers who aren't present who get vilified by mothers. So, and it's like, whatever the situation may be, maybe they were just young, maybe they were, you know, I don't know. I think it's like, it makes things easier to make it black and white and like good and bad. So, you know, for the mom, it's just easy to be like, dad's bad, he's garbage, he's not here, you know, and then obviously pass that on to the kids. So, you know, I'm sure that happens probably more often than we know or talk about.
Yeah, it's like, what environment was the kid left in? You know, if he was like super young, if he is super young, all he knows about his dad is what the mom tells him. And if the mom is like super bitter and like spiteful towards the father, like whatever relationship is going to be doomed from the start, because he already has like a negative impression of who this guy was. So, to a certain extent, like, it's almost not fair to give the dad a chance to, like, meet with the kid and, like, have him make his own impression.
Yeah. No, I think, like, every situation is different, right? None of those situations are even apples to apples. And, like, you know, like, it's just, like, I feel like what would be really bogus is, like, if that communication point wasn't there, too, is, like, so if let's say like this baby was like not planned, you know what I mean, and the communication wasn't there, like, oh, you know, I'm not ready for it, or you know, you're not ready for it right now, and but like you just go through with it, you know. I feel like that kind of sets up some resentment too, you know, and that could be a possible trigger to pull on, like, you know, if you don't want to do this or something like that, right? I don't know if that's responsible to say or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know, like from an animal standpoint, right? Like, I feel like there's not really like there's some like dads that stick around, but like a lot of like fucking mates just like go and the mother fends for the pack or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know like what's right and wrong and when this whole like you gotta stick around thing came into play.
I I mean, there's moms that dip out too. You know, that shit happens.
Yep. But I think like the main effect it would have is like you would have to truly learn for yourself. Like if you were a kid without like a parental figure, you know what I mean? You would truly have to like make really bad mistakes just to learn from it, because no one's like guardrailing you, And if you like, what do you call it? If you make a mistake and you potentially can't get back up from that mistake, that could happen. I feel like that does happen a lot.
Yeah. No. Yeah. All fair points.
But anyway, so we peel back a little bit. So one thing that's really like A24ish about this house that they're moving into is that it was like built in like the 1700s, and like they don't go into the specifics about it. So they don't say anything good about like what happened in that house. Like they only allude to like bad things that happened in that house. So it feels, and it's in Virginia.
Some old plantation house.
Right? So it gives you that kind of like Skeleton Key vibe, like something really dark happened, or some kind of like murder happened, or some injustice. But I felt
Mild slavery.
Yep, exactly. How dare you? But what the author does, I think, a lot is throw in like these little like dark undertones into things. So a lot of times he doesn't outright say, like, he didn't make the connection about like Navidson and his wife, right? But he just kind of alludes. He throws some like they had a look of disagreement here, you know what I mean? And he never says like they had a look of like affection, So I feel like there's a lot of details in that book, like adjectives and like all that stuff. You catch up on that, or
yeah? No, I know what you're talking about. It's just like word choice about what the author chooses to say about these people's relationship. Like he can have a lot of influence over how that's portrayed to the reader, and if it's just like everything he says is negative, you're going to get the sense that their relationship isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Now I got a question.
Yeah.
What, when as you're reading through the book, does it feel like, I already forget their names, but like the author, the junkie, and the and the director. That's how
you pretty much got it, dude.
But do they have like three distinct different voices? Like as you're reading it, you can tell like it's them. Take the font thing aside. Yeah. So pretend you had three passages, all three, in the same font. And you read it, you can be like, oh no, this is junkie talking about this, or this is the director talking about this, or is it?
Yep. No, I think I understand what you mean. They're totally distinct. Like I think you would 100% know. Like the storylines don't go together at all. Like Navidson's like a family guy. So he's into like he's like got family shit going on, right? And Truant's like fucking Trailer Park Boys, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think he's talking about like, does the author write in a different style for each one of the story types?
Not necessarily the subject or what they're talking about. It's like if you're just reading something, you're like, like this like it sounds like him, or like he just leans to talking.
That's how I understood your question. I'm kind of thinking about it, and I kind of want to say no. Like I feel like they're all kind of written in the same type of style. Like there's really nothing like super distinct about each one of the story types. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's just I was just asking because it sounds like a really layered and complex book. Yeah. And this is not to take away from the author, but he sucks. No, but I'm just saying, like usually like that's just something that sticks out to me when I'm reading is like if an author can like. If I'm just reading a passage and know who's saying this, just from the way they speak, the way they think, the person, this character they've built, just little details like that always sticks out to me.
I feel you, dude. I think like Johnny's dialogue is very like raunchy. He talks a lot about.
I guess that's true. Yeah, like the Johnny's whole story is very graphic in a way that the Navidson story isn't. Like I would agree with that. But some of the Navidson story is kind of graphic too, like when people are getting fucked up, like in the house and like getting shot at and shit.
Yeah. No, so
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. What do you call it? So like there is like the same level, I think, of like graphic like imagery in the way all the different distinct roles talk, but they're all like different flavors
Yeah.
like we were, like Navidson, like he was saying, like when one of the characters, like when they go and explore that fucking labyrinth, he goes like deranged, and he like the way he describes like that downward spiral into madness is very like graphic, like he could describe like his gaze changing, like his body language shifting, like so that this dude has gone through a transformation, is now evil, so like that type of shit. But like Johnny's story is like very like he gets like fucking beat up, and he like describe like the way his eye is bruised, or he'll like describe like a sex scene like very like vividly, and like this fucking he's like the shit running down her leg after he like pulled out or something. She fucking dropped the shit on me, dude.
But the other thing is, I think I showed you before too, he like changes how the words are like on the page.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they'll be super compact if he wants you to feel claustrophobic, or there'll be like 2 words on each page if he wants you to feel like, you're in a gigantic fucking room.
Yeah. And like there's a I can't really go into the depths of it because I don't remember, but there's a whole chapter he goes into on echoes. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So he just talks about like a little bit of the science behind an echo, but like it's like a lot of symbolism about like what an echo is. It's like I can't really go into it because I don't remember, but like he does that a lot. Like he'll spend a lot of time just like kind of going on a tangent to prove something. Like even in the labyrinth. So he said that in that labyrinth there was no type of like structural design that anyone could recognize. And then he brought up all these different types of structures from the various eras, and he's like, this wasn't in there, this wasn't in there, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's like an interesting part of the book, that I didn't really appreciate, but it's like a lot of work to do some shit like that,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and like read every word. It's like I get what's going on. But it's just that, like, he made the decision to do that. It'll be, like, pages of him just describing, like, architecture. Like, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not reading all this.
Yeah, he spends time, like, describing how there's no ventilation. He's like, he's like, there's this type of ventilation and this type of ventilation. It's crazy, man.
Insanely detailed fucking, like, psychotic tangent.
It's interesting. It's like, It's almost like the dude is on like some kind of like Adderall or something. He's like he just can't sometimes like runs with a thought and like it's like word vomit. But then there'll be some pages where there's just like one word on it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man. I can't really put it all together.
That made me feel really accomplished, man. I'd be like, damn, I read 250 pages today because there's only 3 words on the fucking page.
Like there's like a bunch of pages with like just a dot, like a black dot on it. Like, all right, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Now here's a question though. I get the layers an author would want to get at by adding those types of things, making the reading itself kind of like an experience too. Did you feel like it was a little gimmicky at times? Or do you think it was like like the way, when he would like cramp up the words all together, or when they would go like all around the outside of the page, or it was like, that's what, did you think whenever he was using it that it was like, oh, this is really serving a purpose of like helping, relay that message? Or did you think it's like, like I get what he's trying to do, it's a little gimmicky at this point, like, okay, question. I don't know, by the end of the book were you like, all right, I just want to read the fucking book now, or like finish the story?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think that was like his intention. Like you're supposed to feel like disoriented and like uncomfortable reading the book. Like that's part of it.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that the way you posed it. So like I would say like maybe sometimes right? Like I always thought it was just like to incite like chaos, to make you not like think what, like as soon as you think like what the story's about, then he's like, oh fuck you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like at times I was like just like, all right, let me move along here.
I agree, but I think that was kind of his intention though, is to kind of make you feel crazy reading it. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. But no, that's a really good question, because like again, there was times where I was frustrated with it, and but like I think you start to get okay with like anything happening. There was no curveball in that book that I was like, after a certain point was I like, all right, this is like this could never happen. You know what I mean? It's like I'm down for whatever. So they also say, not to go backwards, but they also say that in the book, Navidson's father was an abusive alcoholic. So to pepper that piece of information in there into Navidson's like personality, like this dude was really, really like fucked up, you know, and he would go into that that like labyrinth thing, and like he would bring like a lot of equipment and like all these things, and he would like eventually always run out of supplies, and he would try to make a trek back, which was like 8-9 hours just going upstairs, and he would camp out on the stairs, and he would write a journal about it, you know. So you know, I forget where I was trying to go with that statement, but I think like I was reading a blog about this book, and it said like maturity is all about like accepting not knowing. And like after I read that quote and try to piece it together with like why he would go into that labyrinth, does that resonate at all?
So yeah, so you think it's like immature for him to continue like doing that pretty much because he can't accept not knowing.
Yeah, like I feel like he just like can't not like it's again like the summation of his character, I think, where it's like he can't ever settle, you know, he can't just like sit still, like he always has to explore something unknown, something more novel, you know, like that type of shit.
Did he, not a question about that character, did he always feel, not always, but did he feel like things were going out of his control? Did he feel like things weren't in his control?
I don't know. Do you think that?
I mean, I think he was scared, but there was no point where he's like, I'm not doing this anymore.
And then he would use like other things to justify, like, you know, that lifestyle. Like he would be like, so at one point his brother like went in there, or like somebody went in there and like they couldn't find him, right? So he's like, oh, I gotta go in there and get him. And they were like, dude, if he's been in there for this long, he's dead, you know? And then he's like, I'm gonna go get him. And then he used that whole thing to like, you know, make that a journey for him. But it's like, if you truly just want to go get that guy, like you wouldn't have brought cameras with you and like, you know, just in case, like I got some awesome footage here, you know? Put that on YouTube. But yeah, it's like I just I try to put myself in the same shoes, and like as I verbalize it, right, I'm like finding more and more like ties to Johnny Truant, right, like with his mom and shit like that.
Sure.
Like they all fucking...
Alcoholic, abusive dad, psychotic, institutionalized mom.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of crazy undertones, dude. And his mom tried to escape from this motherfucking place once, dude. And she was like gonna go on this whole like tour. She had a trip planned, you know, but that shit didn't happen. So like I think that alludes to the fact, you know, she got caught or something like that.
Yeah.
And that gives me some real Terminator 2 vibes. You guys seen that movie?
Forever ago.
Dude.
Traumatized me as a child.
I don't think I've ever seen
Terminator 2?
Single Terminator movie, period.
Those are
dude.
classics,
I've never
man.
seen
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
After that, but 1 and 2 are classics.
Yeah, I saw the third one. I didn't really like it. Was the third one with Christian Bale? Or was
No,
that one
Christian
after
Bale
it?
was like one of the reboots. I don't know. There's I
three
stopped paying
total?
attention after the third one. Third one was I'll say but 1 and 2 are classics.
Yeah, I like the second one a lot, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, his mom is like an asylum patient, and she escapes, and they fucking like deck her ass onto the ground, you know. And even in the movie, it looks like super painful, bro.
Oh, there's a movie about this?
No, like
the
in
movie.
the movie.
Sure.
Like
That's what is being told. Yes, yeah. Okay, I got you.
But anyway, because you know, it reminds me a lot of that kid, you know, like what's his name again? The main character. Anyway, fuck it. But you know, like if you do remember that movie, like that kid had a mom who was like, you know,
John Connor.
Oh, Terminator. Yes,
Terminator. Yeah, that kid had a mom who was like institutionalized, and like just the way, I don't know, the way he was like behaving was like, I felt a lot like Johnny Truant would behave, you know, in a more R-rated way.
I gotta watch Terminator.
You do, man.
So Another thing. We'll go back to Navinson real quick. So in the way they say the way that Navinson would film was like a way like unlike any other of the directors like in his time, right? So they like mentioned in the book. So he had like a lot of these cameras called like high eights, I guess. Like I don't know what that means, but it would just like be like posted on walls, and his like claim to fame was that he liked to like watch people like I guess not in a creepy way, but like move into a place and inhabit it. And I was like, that's kind of interesting, dude. That'd be a good TV show, right? To like see someone like move into a new place and see how they set it up. Maybe.
Interesting.
Like a reality show where you watch somebody move into it. Yeah, isn't
that's
that
just literally Big Brother?
Is that?
Is it?
Yeah.
But not like in that way. Not like in a they have a host or anything. Like
I think I kind of know what you're getting at.
Is that Big Brother?
I'll say. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but Master of None season 3, so the last one that just came out, it was really different than the first two. Like Aziz Ansari is like barely in it or whatever, but he's helping. I think he's producing it, or he might have even helped direct a few of the episodes. I don't know, but anyways, the way it's filmed is really interesting, and it's really cool and really well done. But there's a lot of like kind of like wide, long shots that you're like in a room. So it's like literally if you were like a vase in a room, and then like they're talking and things are like happening in the room, they like go over here. So that kind of gives me that impression you're like inhabiting the space. So it's not a lot of those like, just framed up right on the shoulders and they're talking or, switching angles a lot. Like the whole scene will just kind of play out from one angle and you're kind of like a fly on the wall there.
Yeah. Like exactly. Like something like that. Something like, I don't know, maybe Paranormal Activity, too, where it's like a little, like, more, it has less filtering on it, you know what I mean? And I just think that concept's really interesting, because, like, I'm moving in a couple weeks, so, like, I was thinking about, like, how, like,
where you can install the peep cams.
Exactly, dude. Where am I gonna get the peeping toms at? But, when I first got on there, this fucking couch that had like the spring like kind of popping out of it. It was like a shitty brown couch. We got rid of that thing and started putting like fucking, like I don't know, like welcome home fucking coffee nook fucking type of furniture in there. It's like I wish I had like a time lapse of that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of a trippy concept, dude. Also, it's a fucking weird show, dude, but kind of good. You ever seen Somebody Feed Phil? On a total side note, man.
That's on Netflix?
Yeah, man.
What is that?
So it's kind of like a Mark Wayne's type thing, where he goes to different places and like food vlogs, but it's like an episode, like a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So it's like a cooking show, like food show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you watch any of those things?
I feel like I've seen a trailer or some shit for it, but I don't know. I like those shit like, Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, or...
That movie was good.
Yeah.
Guy Fieri, perhaps.
Fieri.
My frosted tips there,
Fucking Mount Rushmore of food shows.
Man vs.
Who else we got? We got Guy Fieri. You got...
Adam Richmond.
You got Anthony Bourdain. Who's the fourth head on this Mount Rushmore?
Mario Balotelli.
Mario, dude, he got canceled, bro. That dude is
Did he
fucking...
really?
Dude.
What did he do?
Mario Batali?
What did he do?
Oh my god, man, that dude got that's the fat redhead with the ponytail.
Was he the one who like masturbated in front of the
something real creepy? There was something like real creepy that he did with like some women or something.
All right.
Tried to like date rape some chick or some shit, dude. Yeah,
well,
like something really bad.
Give her a quick roof.
There's a reason you don't see that guy around no more.
I just don't watch the Food Channel.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
He's British though. I don't know if we can.
Paula Dean.
Who's the dude?
Paul.
She got canceled too.
Yeah, she got canceled too. She can have a Mount Rushmore made out of butter.
Right? Start with the fucking alley-oop of butter. Throw that right in there.
Who's the ripped British dude with the glasses?
Ripped British dude?
Yeah, he like always wears a polo.
A chef?
Yeah.
Paul Hollywood?
No, man. This dude is fucking... I can't think of his name.
Wolfgang Puck?
No.
I don't know. I still say...
Paulo Ono?
We got a solid Mount Rushmore there. Got Guy Fieri, Adam Richmond, Anthony Bourdain, and Gordon Ramsay.
There.
Yeah, man. But dude, like, I like watching food shows mainly because it like kind of gives me like the kick I need to like travel. I like watching it. Like I want to go eat that shit. But I'm not gonna lie, man. That dude, I think he wrote like was it 2.5 Men or something? He's like a writer of one of the shows. Maybe that one, maybe not. But he's like so fucking weird, man.
What does he do? Like, what's the point of the show?
He just goes to different like countries and places and like tries food, you know.
Oh, so there's no like.
There's like a meat spin anywhere.
Yeah, like a catch to it or something, or I don't know.
Well, if you want financial freedom, you should probably check that out.
Yeah.
All right, get your act together. Dude. So we're on a scale of like of your favorite books. Would you place House of Leaves?
I don't know, man. It was really cool. It was definitely like it wasn't what I was expecting at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd probably put it the top 5 for
top
sure.
5?
It's definitely like a very highly regarded, like underground, cult following, like book, like piece of literature.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I follow him on Instagram. I like Mark Daniel Zuski or whatever his name is. He's got kind of a trippy presence on Instagram. You know, like he's
like
got,
still.
Yeah, like he's got some like what do you call it? He's got some like cool other books out there that I want to like check out too after I get through my like bunch of books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give you. Oh, you have the copy, man. I was like, dude, you should read that book when you're done with Dune. Yeah. Would you put that up there in your top 5?
Dude, yeah, it's just really well written. That's why I was just thinking of some of the questions, just like as I'm reading. It does get very detailed, but like as you're reading about, this house compared to this house compared to these, they just think and have different priorities, and just the way they act, you can tell like, oh, this is this dude talking, or like this is this dude, and they have just very distinct trains of thought and voices. So I just like that.
Yeah, man. I really like. I used to hate like the fear that like a thick book would give me.
Yeah.
But, like,
I hear you. Yeah.
But like now, like when as I've read different types of books, like when an author takes the time to set up a scene, it like can be better than like even watching a movie. Like 100%. And I like try to like use more adjectives or like find out new adjectives that like go with things. It's just like a really good way to communicate when like an author does that. I don't know. Do you guys look up words when you don't know them?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, I think you can pick up a lot of like context from whatever it is, but I don't know. Not that I'm gonna like whip out voracious in conversation all the time or shit like that.
There's some impractical ones.
Oh yeah,
happen upon. It's like,
yeah.
That's how I felt in Macbeth, dude. I'm just like, what the fuck are you guys
Well, that's because it was written 600 years ago.
No, I know, but it's just like, there's so many words in there where you just like, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, dude, that shit is fucking over my head.
Like, come forth thee and show thy face.
No,
it was the cowl, and she's like, come here, bitch. That's much faster.
Come hither, bitch.
It was way worse than that.
No, I know.
There were literally, like, every other sentence, there was, like, a word that's, like, I've never heard that in my entire life, dude. Like,
yeah, dude, it's like, after they would say, like, a whole paragraph, it's like, my brain, like, buffered to, like, understanding 2% of it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of made, like, by your body language, I get that, like...
Low download speed.
Right, dude? I got fucking dial-up in here right now, dude.
That's the first time, though, that I can honestly say I kind of understand the story of Macbeth, dude.
Yeah,
like, when I was in, like, high school and they made us read Shakespeare... No, I'm saying now I understand it. But I'm saying, like, when I was fucking 16 and they forced me to read Macbeth, I'm just like, I have no idea what the hell
reading that shit is so fucking bogus, man.
Yeah. Reading is a whole different part of it, too, but... Yeah, I mean, at 16, you just want to fucking ride your bikes off a ramp like Jackass. So.
Yeah.
Do some fucking ollies in the parking lot.
I still do that.
Yeah.
Dude. And then, like, did you ever have to read, like, the Odyssey? Like that, like... Fucking,
yeah.
That shit is tough, too, man. Even Beowulf is tough, like the original one.
I think we had to read the Odyssey, but not Beowulf.
Not Beowulf. I didn't read Beowulf.
What's Beowulf even about?
Dude, it's like he's like this like fucking superhero Viking, and he goes and fights like all these monsters. It's like similar to like any Greek epic.
Have they made a Beowulf movie?
Yeah,
probably.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it though.
It probably sucks.
It seems like anime. It seems like all CGI.
Oh,
psych. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever see that movie. I wish they would make a good one though, like with the actual person. I'd watch it.
Have they made an Odyssey movie?
The Odyssey, isn't that like a collection of a bunch of stories though, right?
Yeah, but I
I
feel
feel
like
like
that'd
that's
be
too long for a movie.
no. But if they broke it up into like different segments of like all
Yeah.
the different islands
Different
that
parts.
he goes to or whatever,
Yeah, there's
dude,
so
like,
much
that would be
good
fucking
content there.
That might be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Fucking throw Iron Man and Spider Man in there, dude.
Oh,
Let's
man. No.
We're in the multiverse.
let's
Ended
go.
up in Odysseus's path.
Spider Man crossed through a portal.
Fucking Neo from the Matrix and shit.
Hey, dude. Yeah, man. No, dude. Other than that, man, I don't really have much else to go off on this right now. I think we did a good deep dive on the book.
Agreed.
Got into some good topics, things like that. But we'll come back and do. We should all read a book and then like do like a book talk
A
on it.
book club.
You know what I'm saying, boys? Get a little coffee in the morning. I know that's your vibe,
Bring
dog.
some coffee with us.
Yes, sir. But no, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for doing this with me, man.
For sure.
Let's go.
Zach's got some homework to watch Terminator.
Chitomes.